Yeah. You know you fucked up, right? Full time in the house. Let's get it. With so much drama in this day and age, it's kinda hard being full-time MMA, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with content for my hitters like every single day. Now let's get to this nigga Snoop. Disrespecting McGregor, thinking that shit was cute. Calling Conor a bitch, well what the fuck does that make you? You ain't no big dog, old nigga, you a pooch. And keep it real, Conor didn't even fucking lose. Fuck the Mayweathers, made $1 million off them dudes. And that's in a pillow fight, boxing ain't no real fight. How he get knocked out, still walk out looking like $1 million likes. Snoop, I think you sipping too much gin and juice, cause something's gotten into you. What the fuck you thinking dissing one other dude's getting you paid? Now a lot of people don't like you, got them on Twitter yelling hashtag fire Snoop. Bitch! Full time in the house, ayy. Man, I promise I've been getting sick of this motherfucker crackhead, dick pill ass looking boy. I'm about to have to serve him up. Hey, give me a number 3. Large size, extra fries. Jon Jones in love with the cocoa. He shoot that shit right through his nose. Then he sandblast all the hoes. Jon Jones in love with the cocoa. Jon Jones is a bitch. Jon Jones got limp dick. Or is it just them steroids, ho? Anywhere you see some coke, you see Jon Jones. Look, there he go. There he is, ho. Gustafsson beat you, you fucking crackhead. Had you in the hospital, snapping pics, looking half dead. And that first fight was a fluke. Oh shit, I ate too much, I think I'm about to puke. Daniel Cormier loves ho-hos, cake, chicken, Snickers, Reese's bars, and them Rolos. Yeah. This fat bitch can't get no hoes, cause he done stretched out all his old clothes. Yeah. I'm about to come take Fatty's belt at the press conference, looking at me like I'm a patty melt. I'm human, bro. So somehow I hope you make the weight. I ain't going for that shit that you pulled off at Towel Gate. Fat bitch. Somebody grab him some chicken. This fucking guy is fat. How the fuck he gon' beat me and Volkov just put this guy on his back? I hope you know no one is scared of you, especially not DC. And you can call me Daniel Cormier or Double Chips, you know you cannot beat me. And yeah, I'm talking to Lewis. If you wanna scrap, we can do this. I know that you're black, I know you're a beast, I know that you're fat and you're stupid. I'm back on my bullshit and lacking my cool. At UFC 230, I'll spaz on this fool. He's not gonna beat me cause he's lacking the tools. This nigga can't breathe when he's splashing the pool. No cardio, hope. And it's probably gonna show when I take him down and I beat him up, cause that's all that I know. They call me Daniel Cormier, I'm coming to defend my title. If he think that he can beat me, then this motherfucker's psycho. Bitch, I'm gone. I'm sick of your bad back and you're still fat, let's talk about it. I'm sick of you being black and wearing MAGA hats, let's talk about it. I'm sick of you getting smashed and then coming back, let's talk about it. Or we can get dirty at UFC 230 and you can get sparked about it. I'm sick of your bad back and you're still fat, let's talk about it. I'm sick of you being black and wearing MAGA hats, let's talk about it. I'm sick of you getting smashed and then coming back, let's talk about it. Or we can get dirty at UFC 230 and you can get sparked about it. I done did a lot of drugs in my day, yeah I said it, but I'm still gon' kick your ass. Gustafsson, I hope you ready. When I got into the crash, I ain't know the bitch was pregnant, but they treat me like a murderer, so motherfucker critic. Bitch, I'm ready to fight, and we can fight till the death. I'll hit your ass with the right, then with the right and the left, then kick you right in the chest, and have you fighting for breath. And then I'll turn the pressure up when you would try to get rest, leave you no time to adjust. Daniel, I'm coming for the title, so quit hiding your necks, because I'm right at your neck. Yeah, you can try and fight Lesnar, but when you fight him, what's next? That's right, I'm the best. At UFC 232, I'll get my title instead. Is going on full time family? Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays to everyone that celebrates. It's Christmas Eve. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Might not be the longest show in the world because, honestly, until this whole Jon Jones debacle, UFC 232 debacle, there hasn't been a lot going on in the world of MMA. Not really any of, there was no UFC last weekend, so just really not a lot of crazy news going on. But boy, is there now. We talked about this really on yesterday's show, really just reacting to it, the whole wild, scenario going on right now. Just a quick recap, and let me make sure I get the chat on the screen for the full-time family. Salute to the full-time family that is in the building. I'll make sure to give you guys a shout-out in just a second. But just a quick recap of what's going on. The entire UFC 232 is being moved from Las Vegas to California on 1 week's notice. Because Jon Jones had tested positive again, and it wasn't a new test. It wasn't a new substance, but it was a different test. So he tested positive for some picograms of turbinol, and with that being said, the Nevada State Athletic Commission was like, whoa, hold on. We're not going to let Jon Jones fight here until we have time to look over these results, because you guys are telling us Jon Jones has turbinol in his system in one of his recent tests. So that threw up some red flags. And since it's Christmas, since it's the holidays, they needed time to schedule the hearing. And the UFC didn't have time to wait. They couldn't wait until a hearing on like Thursday. And because what if they say, no, we're not going to let him fight? So they're like, whoa. Well, we know California will let him fight with this turbinol flag. It's just some picograms. You take a grain of salt and you split it into 50 million pieces, and those are picograms. So it's literally like nothing. Either way, it's there, right? It's in his system. But then California is willing to allow the fight to happen. And so the UFC had to make this move. Like, we ain't got time to wait. We don't got time for a hearing. We got to move. We ain't canceling this event. USADA's fine with Jon Jones fighting. We're fine with Jon Jones fighting. We don't believe he's cheating. We don't believe the amount that is in Jon Jones' system is enough to enhance his performance. So we're fine with him fighting. And my whole stance is, you cannot let one fighter fight with turbinol in his system. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking picogram, or it doesn't matter what the measurement is. You have to, I feel like that's got to be cleared up. Because it sets a precedent. What do you mean? Only Jon Jones can fight? You see fighters who have never had a history of performance-enhancing drugs. They get flagged for a picogram of some shit. They get their reputation tarnished. They lose big fights. Sean O'Malley's who I'm thinking of off the top of my head, because they said it was a trace element. They believe it came from a caffeine pill. USADA, whenever they were investigating it, they're like, yeah, let us test those caffeine pills. We have had fighters pop who use those caffeine pills, so that's probably what it is. They tested the caffeine pills, and I don't think it came back positive, or I don't think the caffeine pills came back contaminated, or he would have still been allowed to fight. I don't think he would have to go this full suspension. But Jeff Novitzky did say that he believed, and Dana White did say, they don't believe Sean O'Malley was on steroids. They don't believe Sean O'Malley was cheating. And that's what they're saying here with Jon Jones. That's why he's still allowed to fight, because they don't believe his performance is going to be enhanced from the amount that's in his system, and they don't believe Jon Jones is cheating. They don't believe he's intentionally cheating. Okay, we didn't believe O'Malley was cheating. He still got his fucking name thrown under the bus for picograms, right? A small amount. So you can't just only allow Jon Jones, in my opinion, to fight with it doesn't matter how many amounts. If USADA can test for picograms, and if you're going to flag guys for picograms, you got to keep it consistent, in my opinion. But now, that's just on the level of the basic level. But there's fans that are pissed off. There's fighters that are pissed off. We're going to cover some of the reactions on the show. Mark Hunt, we've all been waiting to see what he had to say about this shit. He's letting the team go scrat. Boom, 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 boom. A skippy doo that bop. I'm Mark Hunt's letting that thing go. We're gonna cover that. There's fighters And check this out. Fighters already don't make a lot of money. Well, in the middle echelon, I'm saying. Like, most of the fighters on the undercard, there's a lot of fighters. So I'm saying the fighters that are, like, on the main cards and undercards, clearly Conor McGregor could afford something like that, or maybe even Jon Jones. But I believe Michael Chiesa is a fighter who came out like, I flew my family out here for my fight. And there's fans that flew themselves out there for the fight. Paid for hotels, travel. Already out there for the fight. Oh, it's holiday. Oh, by the way, it's holiday time. So you're not going to get refunds on your hotels. You're not going to get refunds on your travel to Vegas. Now the event is canceled. Now you would have to pay. I've never been on a plane. That's rich people shit. But I'm sure during holidays that shit costs more money. Now you would have to get a new ticket, holiday travel to motherfucking California. New room. You got to pay for new hotels if you can afford that shit. Or you're just going to be in Vegas chilling, I guess. Not going to the UFC this weekend. That's some bullshit. Fighters like Michael Chiesa, he flew his family out to see his fight. Right? He probably, he flew his mom out. That's, you know what I'm saying? Michael Chiesa and his mom and whoever else in his family came out. He had to pay for their tickets, paid for their rooms. Now, his fight's being moved to California. So does he have to fly them out to California now? Fly them, get them new rooms in California? Can he even afford to do that as a, mid-tier fighter? A lot of, you know what I'm saying? All of this because Jon Jones has something in his system. And if you think of, would this have happened to anyone on the prelims, the undercard, even shit, if Cyborg or Amanda Nunes had a picogram of turbinol in their system, do you think they would move this whole card to California, or would they pull one of the fighters until they got this shit figured out? Now, we have seen the UFC cancel their main event. And Dana White said that, listen, we don't believe Jon Jones is cheating, or we would have pulled him off the card. We just would have let these ladies main event. So, Dana White and Jeff Novitzky and USADA, they're maintaining they don't believe Jon Jones is cheating right here. They think they have this figured out, even though they don't really have it figured out, because he had 3 clean tests, and they're saying this might be like some pulsing type deal. They don't believe it was re-ingestion, though. I mean, if you're just looking at it from an uneducated standpoint as a fan outside looking in, that re-ingestion shit doesn't really make a lot of sense, because it's like he had it in his system, then he had 3 clean tests, and now it's back in his system. How did it get back in his system? It just pulsed around? Or did he take re-ingest? Oh, by the way, it's conveniently right around fight camp. He had clean tests when he wasn't in a fight camp. Now it's time for fight camp, and we got turbinol, picograms of turbinol. So it's conveniently timed. You had it in your system right after your Daniel Cormier fight and right before your Gustafsson camp. So a lot of fans aren't buying this shit. On top of Jon Jones and his team just turning down VADA testing like last week, which was recommended. It wasn't mandatory. It was recommended. Hey, if you want to help clear your legacy, you might want to enroll in some extra testing, VADA or WADA. And they're like, no, we're good. It's not mandatory. We're good. So they just turned down additional drug testing, and then we find out this is in their system, in his system. That's really sketchy. They got the science. We don't. We're not fucking drug test scientists. But it's just really sketchy. And then on top of that, could you imagine if you actually paid to go to the event, already booked your room, maybe flew a friend or some family out with you, events canceled, probably saved up. This was your Christmas gift. You're in fucking Vegas right now. This was your Christmas. So, a lot of people are pissed off. But Jon Jones has issued a statement. Before we do that, let's pull up the chat. Shout out to Full-Time Family. We got my boy Pinhead in the building. He says, do you think Jon Jones will test positive after the fight? And if so, will the UFC and USADA cover it up? I don't think they'll cover it up, because they said that this could be in his system forever. Like they said, we don't know how long. This could be in Jon Jones' system forever. So what does that mean? He's got a free pass to have picograms of Turbinol in his system forever. So, I mean, you would expect him to probably pop. If you're testing for picograms still, after he fights Gustafsson, he takes a test. Shouldn't there be turbinol in his system, even though it's a small amount? They're saying it's not enough to enhance his performance. But yeah, I completely do expect him to test positive after his fight, because we know this is in his system going into the fight. Now, it's not a lot. It doesn't seem like it's enough to enhance his performance. But I don't know. Now, will they cover it up? I don't think they'll cover it up. I think they'll just tell us whatever the fuck they want to tell us, and we'll just eat that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, guys, it didn't enhance his performance. It's like 50 millionths of a grain of salt. It's nothing. Like, yeah, but no one else can have that, right? Okay. But yeah, I don't think they'll cover it up. I think they'll just say, yeah, we told you guys going into this. That's why he wasn't allowed to fight. And, like, we know it's in this system. But yeah, I would not be. I expect him to probably test positive. Unless they, like, you know, just don't, you know, test for this substance since they already know it's there. He's not going to test positive. Now, if his levels are enhanced, that would be wild. That would be crazy. Like, if after the fight, he doesn't have picograms anymore. He's got, like, grams and, like, he fucking got a hell of it. Like, that would be crazy. Mr. Perfect 2005 in the building. Cam Murphy, the Irish Queen. Alex Santoyo. In love with the Coco. Stamina MC. London calling. Jorge 1. What's up, Blue Corner? Wrench Gang. Wrench Gang. Gavin Surname in the building. Turbinol in this hoe. I'm him. Yo fam. MGDCK in the building. UFC Yankovic. Giving Kim Jong-Uzi in here. He said, remember last year they said it was short-term PED. Now, like a year and a half later, he still has it in the system. That's not correct. He was always microdosing the whole time. Yeah, I don't think you got to be an expert to hear the term microdosing and think that sounds about right here. So you're telling me he's only got a micro amount of steroids? Now, like, what is microdosing? It's where you take a really small amount, right? So I don't know. But these are the experts. But yeah, people aren't going to buy this shit, man. People aren't going to buy this shit. We're not experts, so we can't give a definitive, we know Jon Jones is taking steroids every night and they're covering it up. You can't say that because you don't know that. He's got a small amount, trace amount, picograms in his system, and regardless, I think that's enough. It doesn't matter how much in his system. I think that's the point. I don't think it matters how much is in his system, if it's enhancing his performance or not. You have to be consistent. If nobody else can have picograms of turbinol in their system, Jon Jones shouldn't be fighting. It's that fucking simple to me. It doesn't matter how much is there. Or else don't flag no one else for that. Raise your testing barometer. Like, if you're testing for picograms right now, don't even flag people for that shit. Don't even bring picograms up. Wait till they have, like, a nanogram or a fucking gram in their system. Wait until there's an amount that's actually going to enhance their performance. Don't just... You can't let Jon Jones be above this threshold and nobody else, because it doesn't matter the amount. Given your name says... I don't think it's microdosing. I think it's a masking agent that leaves behind a tiny trace. Boom, masking agent. That sounds, right? Just being fans of the sport, whether it's bodybuilding, MMA, boxing, you hear terms like masking agent, you hear terms like microdosing. So now, boom, let's just put those together. So let's say you're microdosing and you use a masking agent. Well, boom, you would really have a trace amount in your system then, wouldn't you? Because you're already microdosing, and just going off the name of that, you're taking small amounts. So then if you try and use a masking agent, seems like you're going to have a really small amount in your system. How convenient do you have these picograms around fight time? I mean, come on. We're just fans, but you know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem too hard to put 2 and 2 together here. Pinheads, you think Jon will test positive after the fight? Okay, I already read that. Remember when Dana said Jon will never headline an event? Says Eon 001. Yeah. Stamina MC says, Turban all gonna murder y'all. Is that what they're gonna chant at the fight? Turban all gonna murder y'all. Or at Jon Jones' press conference, whenever he's fighting anybody. Turbinol gonna murder y'all. Yo. Ian says, Frank Mir's so pissed. You saw it as a joke. Can we just get rid of him? Busting guys for caffeine. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like, when it comes to Jon Jones, we're talking about how, oh, this doesn't enhance your performance and it's a trace amount. No one else gets that excuse. And also, on top of that, motherfuckers get popped for, what is it called? Not diuretics. People get popped for diuretics too, but shit that doesn't enhance your performance. The shit that people take so they don't get bitch tits. Like, people pop for those, and those don't enhance your performance, but they say, yeah, but people use those after they cycle off of steroids. Okay, but if you're not popping them for the steroid, this isn't enhancing their performance, right? The estrogen blocker, that's what it is. An estrogen blocker. That doesn't enhance their performance, right? It's not going to help them in the fight. So why can't they be on estrogen blockers? It's not helping their fight. Why can't they be on a diuretic? It's not enhancing their performance. It might help their weight cut. I mean, it's just such a... I don't know. It just seems like wildness. But yeah, we're going to get to Jon Jones' statement, and then we're going to get to some of these fighters' reactions. All the fighters now make less money due to having to pay state tax. Completely effed. That as well. We're going to cover that as well. Amanda Nunes, the champion. Yo, this is not what she signed up for. And she's a champion. Like, whoa. The only reason I'm fighting Cyborg is for the fucking check. Now y'all about to... Now I got to pay to travel to a whole new state. My family, everyone that's flying out, I got to pay for that. And there's a whole new state tax. I got to pay way more taxes over here in California. All the money that I was making to fight Cyborg, I'm making like half of that now. What the fuck is the point? Now I'm just getting my ass whooped for nothing. I sure do hope I win, which she's probably not, right? If Amanda Nunes, they took all the time, it gives us more time to sell the fight. You know, like, that's why she wanted to take all this time to sell the fight, put on weight, more time to sell the fight. One of the main reasons, of course she wants the challenge, but one of the main reasons Amanda Nunes is fighting Cyborg is probably for this bigger payday. And now that's getting kind of slashed, so it's kind of like, this ain't what she signed up for. I thought I was going to get a fat-ass payday fighting in Vegas, end of the year. Now there's going to be people that are probably, I would imagine there might be less people that buy the pay-per-view. There's going to, you know, because of this whole Turbinol situation. So yeah, if you're Amanda Nunes, you just got fucked over here. Because a quarter of the money, you're probably about to spend a whole lot more money, and with the taxes, make a lot less money to fight Cyborg. And that's really the main reason, you know, you think she's in it. Yeah, the holiday flights are double the price, says Cam Murphy. Whew. Yeah. So now, and by the way, you gotta hope that you can get a room. Hopefully you can get a room. You gotta pay double the price now. Uh-oh. What is that? Kim Jong-Uzi with the €2 to the super chat. Yo, Kim Jong-Uzi. Much appreciated, man. Merry Christmas to you, and thank you very much for that, dog. But yeah, you're paying double for the flight, and now you gotta hope you can get a room. Those are probably priced up as well for the holidays. You're getting royally fucked over. Everyone's getting fucked over here, I feel like, except for, you know, Jon Jones gets to stay on the card. He still takes a hit, his reputation. The UFC, everyone's probably taking a little hit. I mean, everybody involved. I feel like nobody's coming out ahead. Some people are like, I'm sure, you know, Dana White and Jeff Novitzky are still going to have a nice Christmas, but their reputation isn't coming out crystal clean in this. The UFC's going to lose a little bit of money for sure because of this. They got to pay for a lot of shit. They got to pay for this move. They had to book a new venue on short notice. The UFC's going to have to pay for this. This isn't good for anybody. So this is just an all-in-all shitty situation. Ian says, oh, damn, American don't have passports. I forgot. Come on, full-time MMA. You need to travel, my brother. Yo, traveling costs money, or I would have been traveling, bro. Let me show you something, OG. I got to hide some shit. This is what you call a motherfucking 3-day eviction notice. I got paid that off, had to pay half my mom's rent, and now my fucking bank account's sitting at about negative 180. Traveling is not even on the schedule. Maybe in about 3 years, I'll be to where I can travel. And I don't got work for the next 2 weeks, so I'm about to be eating motherfucking noodles and motherfucking more noodles these next 2 weeks. Ian says, yo, I would respect the fighters if they just boycott this thing. It's kind of hard because that's how they make their living. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to, like, go on strike, but hopefully some fighters might be able to do that if you have another job. But a lot of fighters are fighters. That's how they get paid. They got to pay their fucking gym fees, their trainers. They got to keep their sponsors. If they go on strike, they might lose the little sponsors they do have. Like, it's not as easy to just go on strike and say, you know what, man, I don't like the way my job's treating me. I'm about to stop getting paid. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. It ain't like your own salary. You don't fight, you don't get paid. UFC will sign somebody from a Cage Warriors champion to come and take your place. The UFC's going to keep the show rolling. Now, if everybody came together and did that shit, that's what the union, that's what Leslie Smith is trying to do with Project Spearhead and shit. And oh, by the way, holy shit. Speaking of Project Spearhead, I bet you they get a few more signees after this shit. You're going to have some fans wanting to sign up for that shit. Breaking news, Jones forced by CSAC to enroll in VADA, says Pinhead. Forced? Oh, snaps. Let me check that out. We got some breaking news. Jon Jones, VADA. Gustafsson. Now we understand why Jon Jones refused VADA. Yeah, I don't see that yet. Let's go to news. Yeah, I don't know if he's forced yet. I don't see that breaking news, but yeah, it wasn't mandatory before when he turned it down. It wasn't mandatory, so if he did have to enroll in VADA, that would be interesting. Because listen, USADA's got good drug tests. If VADA tests for picograms, they're going to see the same thing we already know. If VADA tests for picograms of turbinol, it's there. So, what are you going to tell us? Something we already know? They're testing him. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, reported just now, says Pinhead. What site did you see that on? Gus needs to leverage some money out of this. I ain't fighting till you double my check. Gustafsson don't have as much leverage. If you're Daniel Cormier, 100%. Gustafsson hasn't been the most active. This is still a title fight he's been waiting for. So Gustafsson, he's still going to fight him. He said he'll fight him on rocket fuel. It's not the why we seen Brock Lesnar said, yeah, we know but Brock Lesnar's juiced up. I'm still going to fuck him up or whatever he said. Not in those words, but everybody had kind of a good hint that Brock Lesnar might be on something. Came into the fight, failed the test afterward, and now Mark Hunt's suing him. But before the fight, he was like, I'll fight him even if he is juiced up. And Gustafsson, he said that. We're going to talk about that in just a second. He said he'll fight him on rocket fuel. Sorry, that's bollocks wouldn't stay in your system that long. He had to have taken some in the last 3 months. That's what, I'm with you, K. Murphy. That's what it seems to see. But this is the thing they're saying. This is why they're allowing him to fight. They don't believe it was re-ingestion. They don't believe he took a new steroid. They believe it's the same thing that he already popped for, just showing back up in his system. It's like, how gullible are you guys? Like, I don't want to be an asshole because I think they do a good job. They seem to have done a great job everywhere else, but except for this situation. I don't know how they're going to get out of this one with a clean, you know, with people still believing in this. Because it's like he had 3 clean tests in the middle. You fail one test, 3 clean tests, and then you fail another test around fight time. How is that not re-ingestion? Pinhead says Jon Jones forced by CSAC to enroll in VADA. All right, let me Jon Jones forced to enroll in VADA. They opted out. What? Yeah, give me a link to that, bro. Or tell me what website you're seeing that on. I'm not seeing that anywhere. Let me check like MMA Fighting. Or Hawani's Twitter. Ariel Helwani, Twitter. Let's see. Damn, people are having to cancel their after parties and shit, bro. Go to Brett Okamoto's Twitter, homie. Ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm living my best life. Hey, thank you very much for the $2 in the super chat. Giving your name. He said Brett Okamoto's Twitter. Okay. But yeah, Cyborg having to see fighters are. This is costing the fighters money. They got their after parties planned. They got to cancel those on short notice. Here we go. UFC's Jon Jones subject to testing from 2 agencies. 20 minutes ago, breaking news. Jon Jones has enrolled in the VADA testing programs as of today. In addition to the mandatory UFC USADA program, California required it as part of the approval of the UFC 223 move. Jones is the first MMA fighter to be enrolled in both VADA and USADA at the same time. Holy shit! I'm gonna have a fine-tooth comb up his asshole. Yo. Okay, I hear that. We'll see. I mean, and this is the thing. That looks good because it seems like he's going to be going through strict testing. And VADA is completely independent of the UFC. They ain't got shit to do with them. No interest involved. So it looks good, but my question is, if we know there's picograms of turbinol in his system, and they said it could potentially be there forever, if that's all he's going to pop for, that's all he's going to pop for. No matter how many, unless you are testing him 24 hours a day, if that's always going to be in his system, okay, so what you're telling us is Jon Jones just has some random picograms of turbinol floating around in his system, and they might pulse in and pulse out, but it's not affecting his performance. So, okay. I mean, that is breaking news, and he is the first fighter to have to go through USADA and VADA at the same time, and you would imagine, fighters already talk about how strict USADA is, so you could imagine being subject to the random USADA testing at all times and the whole whereabouts and giving them your every move of every day. Now you got to go through VADA as well. That's a lot of fucking drug testing. That's going to be very invasive if you're Jon Jones. You're pretty much going to have a USADA or a VADA agent. They might as well just hire a full-time USADA or VADA agent to be like his roommate. I mean, that's what it seems like is going to be going on. He's going to be getting tested probably, I would imagine, every week, it seems, even though ahead of his fight. You remember Jon Jones said like he was always enrolled in USADA, like he never left the testing pool, but he didn't have that many tests in that time. So, I mean, yeah, I really still think this shit is fishy, but at least Jon Jones is now enrolled in a second drug testing program, and this is so California, their hands are, you know, they can at least kind of, because California was kind of looking bad as well. You've seen when Daniel Cormier posted, he was like, USADA's a joke, the CSAC's a joke, Andy Foster, he was saying all of this is a joke because they're allowing this to happen. And so now California's like, okay, if you guys want us to take this fucking fight, there's a lot of blowback coming in. People ain't buying your shit. He's going to have to do something. He's going to have to enroll in VADA or something, or even we can't take the fight. And Jon Jones clearly didn't want to enroll in this. His team just turned down this testing last week. They just turned down this testing last week. But now, with all of this blowback going on, they're being forced to enroll in this testing. So, they suggested it last week, and they said, no, we're good. But now it's kind of being, their hand is being forced. Now he's going to be going through VADA and USADA, and the UFC and USADA are saying they don't believe he's cheating. So, there's going to be people out there that still believe it. You know, but I can't. There's fucking smoke, there's firing. There's smoke, there's so much smoke in this motherfucker. I'm choked up. What are we talking about here? Bro, there are so many signs. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, there's smoke coming out the duck's ass. I mean, come on. But yeah, he's going through two separate drug testing programs. So, let me know what you guys think about that. Now, with that being said, let's get to Jon Jones' statement. What he released. This is what he had to say. He said, I'm focused on achieving my ultimate goal and reclaiming my light heavyweight title. I have willingly submitted to every USADA test in the lead up to this fight, and USADA has confirmed what I've been saying all along. I'm a clean athlete. I sincerely thank the California State Athletic Commission and Andy Foster for doing the right thing and supporting me through this process. I cannot wait to fight Alex Gustafsson this Saturday, December 29th, the Forum in Inglewood. I would like to see, it don't matter who it is, the UFC, Dana White, these commissions, how about you guys do the right thing and support all of these fighters that you think are innocent? Because I'm pretty sure I can pull up the quote of Dana White saying, I mean, if anyone's not on steroids, it's Sean O'Malley. Like, no, and also Sean O'Malley talking about how Jeff Novitzky was working with him because he didn't believe that he was on steroids. So nobody believed he was on steroids, right? Everyone thought this was a slip-up, a contaminated supplement. But his fight didn't get saved. They didn't move a whole fucking card. It's not going to happen for nobody but Jon Jones or Conor McGregor or maybe Khabib now. And maybe Khabib because, I would imagine, just one of the biggest stars. This is some special star privilege shit right here. It doesn't matter what. And that's just how I see it, man, because nobody else would be allowed to fight with fucking picograms of turbinol in their system. Nobody else. So, Jon Jones thankful on that. Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, they went back and forth. Holy shit. Ooh, damn, man. This shit is personal. Deeper than rap. I mean, they're bringing the wives back into it, dog. And this time, DC couldn't hold back. This time, it ain't just Jon Jones. Even though Jon Jones, that dirty motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. Even though Jon Jones brought it up first, Daniel Cormier, he ain't holding back, man. He's like, all right, fuck it. You wanna talk about mothers? No, you wanna talk about wives? So DC posted this: USADA equals joke, Jeff Novitzky joke, Andy Foster joke, a pinch of turbid on an Olympic-sized swimming pool from 2017 that stays in your system for 18 months. Joke. Nevada State Athletic Commission, you're cool, because you guys weren't going to let this motherfucker fight. You notice DC didn't say UFC equals joke, Dana White equals joke. He didn't call out his bosses. You notice that. He called out USADA, Jeff Novitzky, Andy Foster. UFC and Dana White are letting this shit happen too, big dog. you don't talk shit about your bosses. That's one thing you know. But Jon Jones responded, check this out, bro. He said, I could slap your wife on the ass and you could literally do nothing about it. You're my bitch, DC, and that will forever change. Funny how you're giving me post, but said nothing when I asked you to come get your belt back. I would have said, yeah, motherfucker, because I'm not saying nothing as long as I know turbinol's in your system. No, but he fired back his own response. DC hit him up. But Jon Jones, and it's one of those things. He didn't insult his wife, but he brought her into it. And this is even worse than the first. I'm talking about slapping his wife on the ass. Like, yeah, you're not being personally attacking, but here you go, bringing her back into it, bro. So DC, the ting goes scrat. He said, you couldn't do shit, you steroid-abusing junkie. I swear I would never touch your wife's flat ass. And I didn't respond. I'm not helping you sell your bum-ass fight, you drug-abusing steroid cheat. Fuck you. Jon Jones did this. Jon Jones don't care. He opened the doors for this. Not even with the turbinol. By bringing his wife into it again. And Jon Jones knows what he's fucking doing. Jon Jones is smart. Jon Jones knows Daniel Cormier didn't really take off on him. He didn't even start talking about steroids until Jon Jones said the word wife. The first time he said, you still dream about me and your wife knows it. Like, he didn't insult her, but he just said the word wife. Like, and that was the final straw for DC. He never used that as an excuse. Listen, dude, you were on steroids. The only time you beat me after USADA, you failed your drug test. You can't beat me clean, John. He never said that. He never threw that punch. He did not use it as an excuse. He said, listen, I've fought other guys that were on steroids and I beat all them, so I'm not going to use him being on steroids as an excuse in this fight. It wasn't until Jon Jones said some shit like your wife knows you still dream about me that he said, "You steroid abusing, cokehead, dick pill looking boy. What are you talking about?" It wasn't until he brought up his wife that he started calling him out for being on steroids. And what does Jon Jones do here? I could slap your wife on the ass and you could literally do nothing about it. You're my bitch, DC. You know what you're doing, dog. DC ain't holding back. DC's on his motherfucking ass. And DC said, "I'm not going to help you sell your bum ass fight." So I wouldn't be surprised if DC goes radio silent from here on out. But he couldn't hold back. He had to get that one off. He responded in the comments. He ain't going to make it no whole post. He ain't going to go on TV and talk shit because I'm not going to help you sell your fucking fight. This is some bullshit what's going on. I know it. And fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if DC goes radio silent from here on out because he's not going to help him sell this fight. And, oh shit, Jon Jones, dude. He said, "Thanks for the laugh. I needed that night. $150,000 to any charity in Lafayette if he accepts my challenge. Let's see if his Instagram stops working again." Yo, someone said, "Over to you, DC." That's crazy. Posting the meme. Jon Jones reposting this shit. DC can't help himself. He don't want to help him sell this fight. But he can't hold back, bro. He said, "Keep the money. More stringent drug testing and no excuses or mishaps, and I'll give you $125,000 to charity in Lafayette and $125,000 to charity in San Jose. You just pay for the drug testing. #cheater. Jon Jones says, "It tickles my pickle when you call me a cheater. Have you convinced yourself I cheated the first time too?" I would be like, "Yeah, motherfucker, that was before USADA. Fuck yeah. I'm Team DC, bro. I'm convinced. The fuck you talking about? The first fight was before USADA. And now, since USADA's here, we know about this motherfucking... If USADA was not here, we wouldn't even know about these picograms of turbinol. Because most people don't have tests that are that good. Most people don't have tests that are that fucking stringent that test for fucking picograms. Most tests aren't going to find a grain of salt split into 50 million pieces. That's how fucking good USADA's tests are. So before USADA, Jon Jones could have had more than picograms and we wouldn't fucking know. So fuck yeah. I'm convinced. What do you mean? The first time, yeah, bro. The first time was before USADA. If I'm DC, I'm all over that. Bro, the first time we fought was before USADA. Hell yeah, I'm convinced. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to fight you until you can get those motherfucking picograms out your system. I would go on a whole campaign. I would be like, yo, I'm the GOAT. After what we know now, like I'm DC, bro, I would go on talk shows. I wouldn't fight this motherfucker to prove it. I would be on talk shows. I would be on ESPN, fucking, with Dan Le Batard, Skip and Shannon, motherfucking First Take. I would be everywhere saying, "Listen, guys, we can debate this all day. The first time I fought Jon Jones was before we had stringent drug testing. The second time we fought, he failed the drug test. And since then, it's came out that he's going to possibly have permanent turbinol in his system. It's going to pulse in and out. This guy's not clean. And until this guy fights me, and through all of his tests shows that he has zero turbinol, none. There's none in my system. There's none in any other fighter on the UFC roster doesn't get to have no fucking picograms of turbinol in their system. Tom Lawler got suspended for 2 years for 17 picograms. So why is Jon Jones any different than Tom Lawler? Because he sells more pay-per-views? No. Fuck no. That is not a level playing field. So until Jon Jones tests for 0 picograms his entire fight camp and beats me clean, I'm the motherfucking GOAT. And it's that simple. And if you want to fight Jon Jones, seems like you can't get your shit together, so I'm going to need to see you go through a full clean camp and then you can talk to me. But I might be retired by then. So what can you do? You better get the UFC to cash. I need about $5 million to show up. I need $5 million for the fight. And I still want you to be clean. And it's got to be a guarantee, too. Because ain't no, "Oh, Jon Jones failed a drug test, so I don't get paid." Y'all want to see me kick his ass? I need paid. I'm not doing it. Let's go. So, DC, Jon Jones going back and forth. Jon Jones with the fucking low blows, brought the wife into it. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't even he didn't even talk shit. On honestly, DC didn't even bring Jon Jones into this. He's talking about this situation, but he didn't say Jon Jones equals joke, or Jon Jones equals junkie, or Jon Jones equals picograms, or turbinol. He didn't even fucking bring Jon Jones' name into this. And Jon Jones hit him with the motherfucking heater. Like, okay, DC couldn't do nothing but respond. So, let's continue. Jeff Novitzky defended moving UFC 232, and he's taking heat. The fans are responding to Jeff Novitzky's Twitter post. This is a little bit of what we were talking about, just to let you guys see, you know what I'm saying, what some of the fans are saying about this. Here's Jeff Novitzky's tweet. He said, "This case exemplifies how advanced and sensitive drug tests have become. With this comes a greater responsibility and the need to look at each situation objectively. The decision yesterday showed both of these things. Can't make everyone happy, but it was the right thing to do." It seems like the only people that are happy in this situation, honestly. If you polled 95% of people, I'm talking fighters, fans, and staff, 95% of people are not happy with this. Who's happy with this except for Jon Jones? I don't know who this benefits. Even USADA in the UFC, I feel like they're losing in this situation. I don't even see how this helps them. Doesn't help your reputation if you're USADA. It doesn't help you if you're the UFC, because now you got to book a whole new venue. You got to refund everybody's tickets out here. Like, this is a big headache for the UFC. Like, I don't know who's happy with this outcome, except for like Jon Jones' stands. Fans are lashing out. They're infuriated. They said, "Can't make everyone happy. I'm out 1.6K. I'll never see. I worked hard for that month of overtime, but you're still gonna have a good Christmas, I bet." 1.6. I couldn't even, bro. I'm like negative 200 right now. I can only imagine losing 1.6 thousand fucking dollars. Whoo! That ain't kosher, dog. Big Gucci says, I hope the Christmas bonus Uncle Dana handed you yesterday makes up for the loss of your reputation and the rest of your career with USADA in the UFC. Whew. AM says the right thing to do is to take into account the fans who make this sport. Changing the venue during this time of year is completely short-sighted and unfair to all the fans who've shelled out all of this money. You guys dropped the ball and it's on Jones since he had it in him. Would this have been done for an unranked fighter, or would you have just suspended them and figured it out later? You're just a UFC lackey and a huge hypocrite. That's what people aren't happy right now with Jeff Novitzky. Here's somebody talking about airfare, hotel, fight tickets. I don't want to be made happy by you ass clowns. I want what I paid for. You guys have canceled main events before. Move the card for Johnny Brasco. Your organization, and the UFC are the shits. So, and then the last one, right thing to do for who? I guess you didn't have a great responsibility before, just didn't care enough about looking at each situation objectively. Now that the tests are so good, it's getting harder to slip athletes by the system. Is that what you're saying? So, yeah, man, a lot of people lost money, fans, fighters lost money in this situation. We can go right here to Amanda Nunes. She's frustrated by the change because one of her main incentives to fight Chris Cyborg is for the money. That's one of the main incentives for it, not just Amanda Nunes, anybody that fights Chris Cyborg. You don't got a great chance of winning, but you're probably going to get a nice payday to take that L. Amanda Nunes has a better chance than any of those girls, and so I do think she took this fight for the challenge as well, but I do know, maybe it's 50% challenge, 50% money. Money was definitely part of the incentive for Amanda Nunes to fight Chris Cyborg. And she's losing money now. So now, let's say she made, I don't know, $200,000 to fight Raquel Pennington, and she was going to make $1 million to fight Cyborg. That's a big jump. She probably wasn't going to, it's probably a closer gap than that. But now with taxes and all of that, she might lose, you know what I'm saying, a good chunk of what she's going to make. And now she's probably still going to make more than when she fought Raquel Pennington, but she's losing a good percentage of her profit because of these taxes as well. She said, well, wasn't expecting to pay California state taxes this holiday season, UFC 232. Oh, well, wow. I wasn't thinking about that, but I mean, I was just thinking about if you're a state and you accept the fight on short notice like this, and another state won't. Clearly, you're gonna make some sort of money, right? Like because you get to sell the tickets and the concessions and all of that shit, right? You're the ones that gets a UFC fight at your venue, so you can kind of see why if the fight was booked in Shanghai, when Michael Bisping fought Kelvin Gastelum in Shanghai, like 3 weeks after he fought GSP. Yeah, we all thought Michael Bisping probably wasn't medically cleared to fight, but the reason the fight happened is because we figured Shanghai, they would clear it because they didn't have as strict of commissions and something like that, and so they're willing to accept the fight, because it's going to be decent money probably and shit like that. So, I mean, if you're California, you're gonna make some money off of all these fighters now. I mean, I guess on short notice having to pay taxes. That's a good point from Amanda Nunes. Dave Doyle says, meanwhile, UFC 232 fighters are losing, depending on their income bracket, somewhere between 9.5 and 13% of their purses due to the card being moved from no-tax Nevada to high-tax California. So the fighters are having... Well, now, hopefully, and I don't know if they can do it for every fighter, you would think hopefully the UFC is going to make this right for some of these fighters. I don't think it's going to be for every fighter. I damn sure don't think it's going to be for every fighter. But some of the fighters, I would imagine, they would okay, here's a little extra bonus for this whole fucking, you probably had to fly your family. Not only do they have to pay this extra tax, and they got to fly their family now out to California, pay double price for the flights. There goes my new car, says Nina Ansarov. That's kind of funny. Says, there goes my new car. That is funny. That's like a whole fucking new car for people with bigger purses. Now, here's what everybody's been waiting for. Mark Hunt's response. Mark Hunt went off on the UFC, Dana White, and Jon Jones, USADA, of course, everybody. Jon Jones, Mark Hunt, one of the most vocal fighters against steroids. Him and the Diaz brothers are up there. But Mark Hunt's actually got a whole fucking lawsuit going on with the UFC due to a situation like this where he had to fight a fighter where everyone probably thought might be on some sort of steroids. But with USADA testing, we figured they had the shit under control. Now, with that being said, Mark Hunt did say, I'll even beat him if he's on steroids. And it didn't happen. And afterward, he failed the drug test. And so he's in that lawsuit. But still, Mark Hunt never wanted to hold his tongue when it comes to somebody failing a drug test. He posted the little exchange between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, and this is what he had to say under it. Hey everybody, let's move the whole UFC show in a week for a cheater. Promoting and condoning steroids isn't okay. He tagged UFC, Jeff Novitzky, Dana White, and Jon Jones. You're a worthless, cheating little rat. Alex the Mauler, don't bother. This loser isn't on your level. This piece of shit company has always promoted cheaters, and now they're moving the show in 1 week from Vegas to California for money. And they certainly have taken away my love for for fighting. Fucking scummy thieves. I hope everyone sues the ass out of you fuckers. Fucking trash. Oh, and Merry Christmas to all you fuckers. And Happy New fucking steroid year. Oh, Mark Hunt letting the team go scrat. I mean, you would think this might help his court case, right? You see what the fuck these guys are doing, man? They're letting Jon Jones fight with steroids. Does this remind you of my situation? I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Hunt's case got closed tomorrow and he just got $2 million or however much money he's suing for. And he's about to get cashed out. This, you would think, helps his suit. He said, UFC, ultimate fucking cheaters. Why don't you just cut Jones, pay Gustafsson, and leave the show in Vegas? That's literally the simplest outcome. That's what they would do if it was anybody else and they might not even pay the fighter. Cut Jones. You fucked up. Well, you might not have fucked up. Something happened. We all fucked up. We didn't consider you were going to have Turbinol in your system before we asked the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They should have ran this by Nevada months in advance. If you thought this shit was going to pop back up in his system, then you should have ran this by Nevada way earlier. Unless you didn't expect him. They didn't expect Jon Jones to fail another drug test. And so, yeah, this is wild. But it's like, and this shit is deeper than we all can even get into, honestly. We don't have near enough details. But the whole substantial assistance clause, does that have anything to do with why he's being allowed to fight still? Because he's like fucking flipping on some coach or fighter or steroid dealer or fucking whoever, the Chinese cocaine connect? Is he flipping on someone and so that's why he's allowed to fight through this shit? Because we never found the contaminated supplement. So, Mark Hunt said, ultimate fucking cheaters. Why don't you just cut Jones and pay Gustafsson and then leave the show in Vegas? All the fans and families who have already paid don't miss out. Oh, you only care about pay-per-view. Merry Christmas to everyone who has already paid to go there. I hope no one buys your pay-per-view, motherfuckers. Although the least you could do is pay for everyone's flights coming to California and accommodation. Tickets, food, and everything else. You have screwed those there. Oh, and you can stick my crooked finger in your bumhole for Christmas, you poxy little bitch. At Dana White. Oh my God. Mark Hunt, I think he just fought his last fight in the UFC anyway, so he's really off the chain. I don't think he's got no more fights. He said you can stick my... Oh, shit, man. You gotta love Mark Hunt. Gotta love Mark Hunt. Saying what's on a lot of people's minds. But yeah, man, that really does show you how much the UFC... Really, that's the only thing... Like, when I was saying, who benefits from this? Like, who? The UFC, USADA, Jeff Novitzky, it seems like even if they don't lose money, which the UFC's probably losing money, it seems, they're losing credibility. The whole USADA, bro. Like, I seen Sean O'Malley tweeted some shit like, the eyes, like, what the fuck? What's going on? Hold on, I got popped for fucking picograms, and my whole reputation got thrown under the fucking bus, and you guys said you don't believe I'm cheating. You said you think this is some bullshit as well, but I didn't get that luxury. Literally, everyone that paid for tickets, everyone that flew in for travel, all the fighters that have to now pay this tax are kind of getting a fuck you. It's kind of like, fuck you guys. I hear that like, but if you're the UFC, could you pay for that? Could you pay for every single fighter and family's travel and accommodations? And then reimburse them for the state tax? You would lose way too much money. The only thing that is safe here, and it's not even safe because I'm sure the pay-per-views are going to take a hit, but the only thing that benefits, I'll say, from Jon Jones staying on this card is the pay-per-view numbers. That's the only thing. And so that, in my mind, it kind of shows you how much the UFC kind of cares about big pay-per-views. Because if you just pull Jon Jones off the card, all the families and fans and everyone gets to stay in Vegas. You just promote Nunes and Cyborg to the main event. That's literally it. You don't sell near as many pay-per-views because neither one of them are huge draws. You're not going to sell, you probably won't sell no 300,000. You're going to sell a lot less pay-per-views, but it's going to be a lot less of a headache as far as all these families and fighters and all of this shit is concerned. Now, as far as pay-per-views are concerned, who knows? With Jon Jones on the card, this is a rematch, a rivalry, and now there's a whole lot of unexpected fucking drama and headlines. The pay-per-views might be there. And so, I feel like this shows how much the UFC kind of cares about the pay-per-views. And honestly, you know, let's say if you think of in the UFC, right? They're a company. They go to Shanghai. They go to fucking Australia. I think UFC 233 is in Sydney or something like that. It's in Australia. I mean, I would have to ask. I know some of you guys are from the UK. If you're not flying all the way into Vegas, you probably would rather watch Jon Jones on the TV tomorrow. So maybe there's, it benefits people around the world, I think. But if you're looking at it from the people who were going to attend the live event, yeah, they got kind of shit on. But the people that are going to be watching everywhere else, we still get to see Jon Jones fight. And it's shitty to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realize it's a shitty situation. It's a shitty situation. I think the right thing to do is what Mark Hunt said here. Pull Jones, promote the other fight, pay Gustafsson, boom. We take a hit on the pay-per-views. That's really all I can see you take a hit on is the pay-per-views. You keep your credibility, everything. You keep your credibility. And then you can still... Jon Jones can still fight. We just got to get it figured out. Listen, they're not going to let him fight because they don't got time to go over this new finding. We know what's going on. Jon Jones has turbinol in the system. We get it. We understand. These motherfuckers ain't listening to us. They want to have a hearing, so Jon Jones can't fight this weekend. We know it sucks, but it was either that or move the whole event to California. So, I mean, the UFC, it's not an easy decision for them. Because if Jon Jones fails a drug test, people are still going to complain. People like to complain. It's 2018. People love complaining. It's about to be 2019. I'm sure complaining is going to be at an all-time high. If Jon Jones gets pulled off the card, failed drug test, people are still going to say, oh, fucking, I flew into Vegas so I could see Jon Jones. No, I don't get it. I want a refund. You still got to give refunds. But, I mean, the fighters and the fighters' families and shit, they ain't going to be complaining. So, I mean, I feel like it'd probably be less of a headache, but at the same time, it kind of evens out because now, in California, Jon Jones still gets to fight. So, yeah, the UFC had to make the best decision they could, and there's no way to make everybody happy in this situation. But, I mean, on surface level, just the fact that Jon Jones is being allowed to fight with picograms of turbinol in his system, even if it doesn't enhance his performance, that basically is already an unlevel playing field. As little as the amount may be, no one else gets that pass. So, with that being said, moving on from Mark Hunt's response, let's see. Alexander Gustafsson says Jon Jones can be on rocket fuel. I'll still finish him. Who does this remind you guys of? The guy we were just talking about, Mark Hunt. And he's like, yeah, I know fucking Brock Lesnar might be juiced to the tits. I'm still going to go out there and fucking knock his ass out before the fight. Now, what I'll say here. All right, Gustafsson. You're saying this now. Please don't come out with the lawsuit against the UFC after the fight. Don't do that. That's not the way to go. If I'm Gustafsson, I'm saying, this is some bullshit, but I'm still going to fight him. They're telling me his performance isn't enhanced. We'll see how he looks in the fight. But I'm going into this motherfucker with a built-in excuse, dog. You telling me I'm fighting the greatest fighter of all time with turbinol in his system? And I'm still signing up. I'm a bad motherfucker already. And if I win, I'm that much more badass. But if he wins, this motherfucker's on turbinol. Fuck you talking about? No, but seriously. On a serious tip, this does remind me of Mark Hunt. And now we see where Mark Hunt is. He's in a fucking big-ass lawsuit with the UFC. But statements like this do not help you. I don't think Alexander Gustafsson plans on suing the UFC. I'm sure there's going to be some fucking fans, or there might be some other fighters on the undercard that try and pull some shit because, that fucking my travel, my fucking flight costs, my fucking state tax, the UFC costing me money. We'll see if anybody does that type of lawsuit, some petty shit. But I'm talking about some class action. Hold on, like, if Gustafsson wouldn't have said this line and he went into this fight and got knocked out, he might actually have a case. Like, listen, they just let this dude fight me with turbinol in his system. Like, I went through with the fight because I needed the money, but this is some bullshit. Like, I think he would have a better case than Mark Hunt. Because we're all going into this fight knowing as little as the amount is, as minuscule as 17 picograms or 12 picograms or 2 picograms, however many picograms of turbinol are in Jon Jones' system, We all know that going into the fight. We know that USADA and the UFC is allowing Jon Jones to fight with Turbinol in his system. That, and if I'm reading my contract, I'm pretty sure it says we're going to be fighting on a level playing field. And I'm pretty sure it says my opponent's not going to have no goddamn Turbinol in their system. You might have a case. But when you come out saying shit like, I don't care if he's on rocket fuel, D-ball, all that shit Uncle Joey be talking about. He can be on rocket fuel, I'll still finish him. Now you probably ain't going to be doing no lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? You can't sue somebody after you said I'll still beat him on steroids. And that might be why Jon Jones isn't winning. This is what he had to say. I mean, Mark Hunt isn't winning his case. Alexander Gustafsson says, now we all understand why you didn't take the water test. You can be on rocket fuel. I'm still going to finish you, John. And a little sure, bud. Jon Jones is wild, bro. He gives no fucks. Like, he literally, like, he's just eating this shit on the chin. It's just like, oh, well, dog, like, yo. But he did say this explains why he didn't take the water test. Now he's being forced to take them. Here we go. Stipe Miocic sending a reminder to Daniel Cormier after the Jon Jones news. DC said he tested positive again. Stipe said, I'm always clean. I train and drink Modelo. I don't fucking dibble and dabble with dick pills and fucking and Turbinol. I drink Modelo, dog, and that's it. I keep it to the Modelo. You ain't got to worry about me. You want to fight me? Didn't think so. DC said, I know you are, and that's why it was a pleasure in the lead up to the fight with you, and if we do it again, it'll be the same. Oh, handling it with class. I like that one. I like that one from DC. He kept it classy. Killed him with kindness. Whoo, that was a good response from DC. He killed him with kindness. He said, I know you are, and that's why it was a pleasure in the lead up to the fight with you, and if we do it again, it'll be the same. So, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if they'll do it again because, of course, Daniel Cormier could be retiring soon. But at this point, I'd rather rematch fucking Stipe than fight a Turbinol Jon Jones. I don't give a damn if it's a picogram or a fucking nanogram or a fucking whatever gram you want to call that shit. I ain't fighting Jon Jones with Turbinol. He's already got the motherfucking skills to kill. Alright, with that being said, that's the last thing we have to talk about. But, guys, what you can do is click on the exclamation mark above your on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can't see it. We're going to do it early. We're going to really place our bets on our bet on Friday, the day before the fights. But the bankroll, who are we betting our $34 bankroll on, you guys? We got $34. I got the options up. We got John Picogram Jones. We got the odds. And this is just, I'm going to see if the vote goes all the way through so people have more time. So anybody that's listening right now, it's just a fun little thing we're doing. You pick whoever has the most votes. It's just a vote. And whoever the family votes on is who we throw that money on the left side of the screen. Is it even up there? Nope, let me put it on. All right, guys. Here it is. I'm going to pull up the chat before we get out of here, too. But, so we got $34 in the bankroll because we bet on Edson Barboza last week and Stamina MC came through last minute and said, you know what, we got 5 on motherfucking Iaquinta, too. The value's too good. He already won the fight. What the fuck are these odds? And so we smacked him last week. This week, we're still having some fun with this. I don't like having success on these. I don't like winning on these things. It's like, I don't expect it, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like winning on bets, but I kind of didn't expect to on this one. The bankroll thing we do on Patreon, that's one thing, but I didn't really expect this to start winning, guys. So we'll see if we can keep it up, have some fun. So yeah, you can place. Who are we betting on? Are we betting on John Picogram Jones, Alexander Gustafsson? I think we got Nunes, Cyborg, Condit, Chiesa. You guys just click on that, something for fun. But in the meantime, I'm going to pull up the chat before we get out of here. Holler at the full-time family. Then I'll be out your hair for the day. All right, so let's see. Del Benson in here says Jones. Russian Bot says Gus. Mr. Perfect 2005 says Gus. Given Surname says I'm voting Gus. Uh-oh, looks like we might be voting on Gustafsson. Got the odds, too. Stillman, are you tripping, says CFR Sports. Bob Cratcher says, doesn't matter which one you fight, Jones or DC. You're losing the cornea. Once he retires, mark my words, we will all miss DC. I already miss DC, man. Del Benson says, you made it. Topic Stam. This account is better for you, so Stamina MC. What it do, y'all? Del Benson says, the conversation is who is better, Paper Champion or Jones? Whoa, I know you're not saying DC's the Paper Champ. DC's the motherfucking Paper GOAT. And by paper, I mean the actual motherfucking GOAT. One of the greatest of all time. Now, with that being said, I think that's it for the day, guys. Third Eye First in here. Merry Christmas, full-time fam. Definitely tomorrow. I'll go live tomorrow because I'm definitely not doing shit for Christmas. I ain't getting or giving gifts. I'm just motherfucker. I'm grinching it up this year because, like I said, we ain't got it this year. Play Fire Snoop. All right, we'll play that to get out of here, Valentine T. Bob Cratchit says, I seriously hope Conor has given up the kumbaya bullshit and gets back to being the natural-born killer. That's going to be a great fight. Hey, full-time, your earlier stream was epic. Yo, I appreciate that, CFR Sports. Doing a panel? What's tomorrow? We'll do a Christmas panel. We'll do a panel tomorrow, guys. Yeah, we'll do a Christmas panel because other than Jon Jones, there ain't much else stuff going on. So we will do a Christmas panel tomorrow. But it's like throwing a pinch of salt into the ocean, says Valentine T. Yo. I'm going to send you a little something for Christmas, bro. So stay with MC. Yo, you ain't got to stay with MC. I much appreciate it if you do, but like I said, you ain't got to, brother. Kinshiro MMA says, China supports Jon Jones. Free my Asian brother, Jon Jones. He's innocent. Okay, all right, guys. We're going to play Fire Snoop, and we're going to get out of here. We'll be live tomorrow. We're going to do a panel. Let's get it. All right, where's Fire Snoop? UFC Yankovic, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't. We're at 884 subscribers. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to be doing a giveaway. And at this point, I'm going to be giving away this motherfucking hat because I can't afford to buy something to give away. No, but we're going to be doing a giveaway. We'll have some fun. We'll definitely do something when we get to 1,000 subscribers over here. But to get out of here, he requested Fire Snoop. Fire Snoop will be played. Yeah. You know you fucked up, right? Full time in the house. Let's get it. With so much drama in this day and age, it's kinda hard being full-time MMA, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with content for my hitters like every single day. Now let's get to this nigga Snoop. Disrespecting McGregor, thinking that shit was cute. Calling Conor a bitch, well what the fuck does that make you? You ain't no big dog, old nigga, you a pooch. And keep it real, Conor didn't even fucking lose. Fucking Mayweather's made $1 million off them dudes. And that's in a pillow fight, boxing ain't no real fight. How he get knocked out still walk out looking like $1 million likes. Snoop, I think you sipping too much gin and juice cause something's gotten into you. What the fuck you thinking dissing one other dude's getting you paid? Now a lot of people don't like you, got them on Twitter yelling hashtag Fire Snoop. Bitch! Full time in the house. Hey. Fuck it, one more for the one time, What we about to play? Jon Jones vs. Gustafsson this weekend. UFC 232 in California. Picograms and all. I done did a lot of drugs in my day, yeah I said it, but I'm still gon' kick your ass, Gustafsson, I hope you ready. When I got into the crash, I ain't know the bitch was pregnant, but they treat me like a murderer, so motherfucker critic. Bitch, I'm ready to fight, and we can fight till the death. I'll hit your ass with the right, then with the right and the left, then kick you right in the chest, and have you fighting for breath, and then I'll turn the pressure up when you would try to get rest, leave you no time to adjust. Daniel, I'm coming for the title, so quit hiding your necks, because I'm right at your neck. Yeah, you can try and fight Lesnar, but when you fight him, what's next? That's right, I'm the best. At UFC 232, I'll get my title and